A very good morning, Team Zimbabwe. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this morning, we need to talk about important matters. So I haven't been online for quite some days because of some things I've been working on. And today I'm back so that we talk about these important matters. Remember, tomorrow we are having by-elections, which were caused by ZANU-PF shenanigans, the recalls which were made by Shabangu, backed by ZANU-PF. President Nelson Chamisa here clearly says something very important. He says, cowards deploy and abuse tortoises. This level of cruelty invites bad omen. This is what President Nelson Chamisa said. And I'm going to explain something which is very important. A lot of people are asking questions. What is Nelson Chamisa doing? Why is Nelson Chamisa quiet? Why is he not in action? But I want to tell you this. It's not Nelson Chamisa who must act. It's not you who must act. In Zimbabwe, we have what is called power makers. We have what is called power makers. And the said power makers have made an agreement or have reached a decision to wholly support Nelson Chamisa. So in the past, they were supporting Nelson Chamisa, but not entirely, not the whole group. There were disagreements here and there. But this time around, because of some developments which happened from the election period up to this day, they have concluded to actually fully back Nelson Chamisa. And Nelson Chamisa is now being protected by such people. So for those who are actually saying Nelson Chamisa is not doing enough, they have to understand that there are power dynamics in the nation of Zimbabwe, and they have to be followed. And you cannot skip a process. So it's quite interesting, Team Zimbabwe, kuti ZANU-PF is now doing whatever they want to do because they believe that they're untouchable, number one. They believe that they're unstoppable. And number three, they believe that they can do whatever they want to do with impunity and no consequences. But this time around, their actions carries consequences. Whatever they're doing right now carries consequences. What should Nelson Chamisa do? Nelson Chamisa should make sure that he does have a team around him, which is which understands his vision, which understands what needs to be done. That is the role of Nelson Chamisa. Nelson Chamisa should create a team which will not disappoint, a team which will, if given power, which will start to transform the economy of Zimbabwe, the social life of Zimbabwe, the politics of Zimbabwe. That is the role of Nelson Chamisa in all this. So it is not the duty of Nelson Chamisa to be fighting everybody and everyone. The role and duty of Nelson Chamisa is to create a system. So when you're creating a system, remember that you're uprooting a system entirely and replacing it with a new system. You just don't do it in a day. It's not something which can be done in a day. It's a process, step by step, being guided step by step. It's like having a newborn baby. You will not wake up tomorrow and say, "Manya notora mvura." Achazvarwa mwana toti makorokoto, and that child will start to grow from maybe 2 point something kgs kusvika amdara, kusvika atobaba nendebvu. That is the process. That is the same process we are in. We are in a process of transition, moving from point A to point B. But it is going to be a very, very, very painful process because those in power, they have deployed everything they believe should be deployed to make sure that they suppress the will of the people, to make sure that they go against the power makers. But are they going to succeed? No, because if you are a power maker, you are a power maker. When you are in charge, you have been made by the power makers. So you have to toe the line of the power makers. Once you go against the power makers, pako papera. So that is the situation which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Those who are in charge right now, they've abused authority, they have abused the power, they've abused the privilege, and they've done everything to destroy the people, to destroy the opposition, to destroy citizens. The judgment which was delivered by the High Court judge is in itself is a clear evidence to say these people have abused the power for too long, to an extent that they are now disregarding laws. They are now disregarding everything. You cannot have a party without a president. You cannot have a party without leadership. But the leadership of Triple C has been disregarded. Only Chavangu is being recognized as Triple C. But the leadership of Triple C, everyone else, is not being recognized. That carries a danger. That is a clear sign. These people have disregarded the power makers and said they have no consequence, they're of no use. But is that true? No. You will start to see consequences. Right now, if you take a look on what is happening in the entire SADC region, I will tell you this. What is happening in the entire SADC region is a clear indication and a sign that the consequences. So what we are going to see happening from now on going forward, you start to see new things which have never happened. You see them happening. You start to see some things zvichitanga kuitika, and people will start to question what is really happening, what is really going on, and you start to understand that certain things, certain shifts are happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. So a lot of people will say Nelson Chamisa are not plan, and a lot of people will say Nelson Chamisa akadyirirwa bonzo, but that is not true. Being quiet does not mean you are weak. Being silent does not mean that you have no plan. You can have a plan, you can be quiet, you can be silent, you can be strategizing from behind the scenes, especially when you are backed by so powerful forces. You don't need to hurry, you don't need to do much more. So this game is not going to end well in Zimbabwe. That is the reason why sometimes when I say, what is my life? I ask myself most of the time, what is my life without God? And I realize, Kuti, without God, I am nothing. There are people who have passed away, who have been doing great, who have been not involved in politics, but they've passed away one way or the other. But to those who are in politics, who understand the power dynamics in the nation of Zimbabwe and how things go, you start to understand, Kuti, God is watching over Zimbabwe. And a lot of things are happening in the nation of Zimbabwe behind the scenes. So what does the by-elections mean? The by-elections is a simple confirmation Yaguta ZANU-PF is going. They've done everything to silence Nelson Chamisa and they failed, but they've now used force. Apasina mtemo uri kushanda muZimbabwe, guys. The constitution has been suspended. There is no constitution which is being used right now. There is no law which is being used. Yangova njake njake, angova madiro ajojina, angova kuti zvafungwa nevakuru ndizvozvo. But is this going well with the power makers? Absolutely no, because everyone is not happy. Even those who are within ZANU-PF, there are some elements which are not happy. Those I'm just going to it's because of those things. But if Robert Mugabe, who was perceived to be the most powerful person in Zimbabwe, if he was removed from power in such an embarrassing way, what about this one, who is 10 times weaker than Robert Mugabe? What will happen to him? You know the answer. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. They will say they are powerful, but they are not. Nelson Chamisa is on top of the game. Be assured, Team Zimbabwe, I can tell you this. Be rest assured that Nelson Chamisa is on top of the game. Everything is going to move smoothly and according to the will of God. So the power makers are there, fully backing Nelson Chamisa, and it's good news for the people of Zimbabwe. I don't tell you this to make you happy, but I'm telling you this to be informed and to be conscious so that you know what is going to happen. And when some things happen, you do not panic. So there's no need for the people of Zimbabwe to panic. Everything is under control. Change will come to the nation of Zimbabwe. A lot of people will ask the question, when God's time is near. And as I always say, it's not easy to uproot a system. God wants Nelson Chamisa to be in charge, but not with this system. Look at Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema inherited a system And that system is becoming difficult for him to actually implement his policies. That is the reason why you see here and there the hiccups is because of a system which he inherited. But in this case of Zimbabwe, Nelson Chamisa should get into power with completely 100% a new system, new ideas, new people, and new decisions being made. And that is not going to be an easy journey because there are certain elements which must be removed. And those elements are better removed by those who created them. So there is a duty for those who created the system which is there to remove some elements from that system. Then, when the time is right, you see a new system being ushered in, a new system being phased in. So it is what it is. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Thank you very much for the contributions. And let us remain resolute. Whatever the circumstances, whatever the outcomes, court kana by election, do not make a decision based on that. Do not tire. If you are Zimbabwean, do not tire. Tell your friend to tell a friend, Kuti, do not tire. Change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe, and it is going to be amazing. It is what it is. My name is Ronald Makusha. Let us meet in other episodes as well other broadcasts. I'll come to elaborate more on a later stage, but this time around I'm going to leave it here.